Kind of a good reminder of how crazy it can be in Geese Memorial Stadium. We were in there on Tuesday, I believe. It felt like 22, and out there today, I was layered up and had too many layers on. So excited for Saturday. Fans can get out there. Obviously, we've had 4 straight sellouts. To get as close as we can to that would be absolutely awesome. Super excited about this opportunity. Had a bye week. I thought our guys took full advantage of. Got healthy. Put ourselves back in a position to make a run here, starting with obviously the opportunity this Saturday. Got super respect for Coach Loxley in his entire career, so know we're going to get a very excited Maryland football team to come in here to the stadium, and hopefully we can go out there, take it one play at a time, and see what happens.
Where are you guys at from an injury standpoint?
I'm trying to think if there wasn't. Is anybody not going? Yeah, Dylan came back. No.
That it.
Nope. Everybody should be good to go.
I have a two-parter on the Maryland defense. One, their edge rushers are young, but they're very productive. What do you see from them? And two, why do they take the ball away at such a high level?
17 picks, I believe, right? Yeah. So I think they're commonly related. I think what shows up time and time again on film is their edge players, a couple different guys. You got 29, you got 9, you got 3, you got 40, you got guys that are rolling through there, have been very productive. Obviously a very good scheme. And then defensively, I think they're just very aggressive and there's some batted balls, there's some pick sixes, there's a really good anticipation route. I think the first series against Indiana, they saw an outbreaking route that kind of, from playing those guys earlier, that was an anticipated route on that third down route and just did a really good job of awareness. I think their defense coordinator does a really good job of scheming the quarterbacks he's going against and taking advantage of the moment. So, one of the things that really jumps out in this league, in my opinion, you've seen some of the scores here as of late, anybody in this league, I don't care where they're ranked, what the records are, any given Saturday can get anybody at any given time. So that's part of the benefit of this league.
Go ahead,
No, go.
This is the other one. Last week we talked so much about how that was an important week for you to look into the future.
Yeah.
How are you handling I know relationships are such a big deal, and as this kind of turns a little bit, what is this like for you as a coach to kind of take in all of the changes
with
here?
the players?
In terms of, hey, we can go out and add someone else. And
I think December, it's going to be an unprecedented time. Talked about this a little bit on my radio show last night. Like, no one's ever had this before. December is dead, right? So normally you're going out in recruiting. You're in bowl preparation. You're in a phase where you're still signing maybe unsigned high school players, but really it's the anticipation to the January portal. So there'll be conversations that I'll have that I'm sure kids are going to tell me things maybe I don't want to hear. Maybe they may hear things they don't want to hear. I still think that this business is a relationship driven, in all facets. One of the hard parts for me is I went into this season thinking we were going to get the 5 years of eligibility, and a guy like Melvin Priestley, a guy like Hank Beatty, guys that you think are playing really good football now, but they're probably just scratching the surface of what they're going to be. And in today's world, the value of that, like what kids can make that are going into their, 5th year, right? Guys that played as true freshmen, about what they could potentially make for us, but also to the NFL. It's a difficult time, but it's a fun time. I think I've learned now over my 17 years as head coach you get close to all your players, right? Like I literally, some of the most difficult moments this year had nothing to do with football. Like it's a kid that, might have lost a loved one or dealing with a family health issue, or a kid that's dealing with an injury, or a kid that's dealing with mental health. Those happen all the time that never become apparent to you guys. That probably still for me, that's probably one of the most enjoyable, even though the moment may not be enjoyable, the effect that it can have on a kid's life means everything.
Luke Altmaier made the cut for the
David
O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. What do you think about him being on there? What does it mean to kind of where he is?
Obviously very happy for Luke, but all of our guys' postseason awards, it's probably a bigger evolution for me as a head coach. I used to kind of think those things just took care of themselves, but I remember I was a young coach, and it was the Outland Trophy, and it was Joe Thomas, right? And I called every Outland Trophy voter. And I remember making that a point of my priority, and a lot of those voters were like, oh my God, like this never happens, right? Like I've never talked to a head coach before. So I just really believe, kind of like every day I sit down and visit with every NFL scout that comes in here. We have a meeting, and it wasn't until like maybe 2 years ago I realized I was the only head coach in the country that does that. And my thought is, I'm not saying that for publicity, I'm saying that for, like, those kids do everything for us while they're here. Right? I ask them to give me all of that and some, right? Like we always talk about 20-hour work week, but we always say anything you give us above that is overtime. That's on you, but the payback is tenfold, right? Just like a guy that works 40 hours, right? If he works 60, he gets time and a half on those other 20 hours. It's worth more to his employer. It's the same thing for us, right? Like if you give us more, I think the value is greater, right? And if there's anything we can do as coaches to get them those awards, if you're going to vote for Dave O'Brien, like the award list, right? Just I talked to you about, you got to vote on the AP, right? Like those things matter, right? Like I would tell you, right, if you'd voted us 5 spots earlier in the year, we would have stayed ranked the whole time, right? But you didn't. So, like those things all matter. It's crazy how it plays out. But all I can worry about is what we do on Saturdays, and that's my main focus.
You call him Joe Thomas, by the way. He
was a pretty good player.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Ben Miller, your honorary
Yes.
captain. What's the dynamic of having one of your own staff members get to do that for the team?
Yeah, so I've kind of sprinkled in a little bit of this. Art Sikowski, a lot of people don't realize that was my first ever guest captain before he was a vet. We actually had a player that was coming in to be a guest captain, got delayed, and Art was the year that he had surgery on his hand, so I actually had to be a guest captain for Rutgers. So that was my first ever curveball. And then obviously Josh was a captain last year for Michigan, very detailed out, thought out. And then this year, the way this thing was just kind of playing out, and Ben, I know you guys are going to talk to him in a minute. There's just been some, things over the last 2 or 3 years of his life that a lot of our guys aren't aware of, and a lot of them probably know he played Air Force, but they don't know the badge of honor that carries on his heart, right? In the way he talks about the Air Force Academy and the military services. So I thought here with the military service, with the military game, appreciation game, all that we've done, plus he's also stepping into a new role. So like in December, to the point that we just made, like he's now going to be the guy that when those conversations have about revenue share, I will tell them a number, but they're going to work the details through Ben. So he's going to have a connection to our entire roster, unlike any other person in the business, right? So I want to give him this venue to speak to our guys about whatever's on his heart. I don't know what it's going to be. I just told him to be him, and excited about his message tomorrow afternoon.
It's in like 6 or 7 games with Tanner now at the start. What have you seen from him this year as he's kind of thrown into that
Tanner
role?
Heckle? Yeah. Well, first off, just his, I think his calmness, right? I think at first he was kind of like got thrust in the moment because of Xavier's injury. I thought the other guys have really done it. But the one thing that Tanner has, he has extreme confidence. I know he's a little school guy, 8-man football, right? But his confidence and the way he practices, the way he carries himself. I love when you guys interview him, some of the things he regurgitates, you realize that he has a foundation of really good faith of not just in what we're doing, but why we're doing things, kind of bigger than the moment he's in. So I thought he's had a really good week of practice. Excited to see him play.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.